Alrighty, so my name is Luke Borsma, and this is my grandpa who I chose to interview for the Dispositionally Happy Person interview. So, to start things off, question number one: how do you stay happy
How do I stay happy?
when, say, life is good or the alternative, life is not so good?
Staying happy when life is not so good. I guess that we have to define our happiness, whether or not that's dependent on whether life seems good at the moment or it doesn't seem good. I think that for me that happiness is a state of mind and a state of heart. I think that it depends to a large extent on whether or not relationships are good, and by that I mean relationships not only with family or friends, but the relationship that I have with myself, how I view myself, and I think it has something to do with contentment. I think it has to do with what I expect of myself and of the world, and I think that ultimately it has to do with my relationship with God, um, and when I think about that, then my happiness is dependent on something outside of myself, but it isn't dependent on my physical circumstances. It's dependent on that relationship that we're talking about. Um, and if I surrender myself to that, um, which I do, then that supersedes pretty much any of the circumstances that are going on in my life, and can trump any of the bad things that can supposedly can happen. Yeah.
So, as you've gotten older, I'm assuming your relationships have changed with people and with God. So, has your ability to cope with uh, bad circumstances changed as you've matured or gotten older, changed as a person?
Oh, I think so. I can remember, I think I was about 27 when I actually, there was a moment when I thought about what was really important in my life. I was married, I had children already, and I actually had a conversation with myself and with God, and I told myself that life wasn't all about me, and doing that, I think, um, put put my life in perspective. I think that it made it easier for me to be happy, because my happiness didn't depend on whether or not I was getting something that was pleasurable to me or that I liked, but my happiness was more dependent on what I was able to do for family or for other folks, and that's just a lot more dependable approach, I think, to life. There's always there are always relationships and opportunities out there to serve and to enjoy other people, and um, and if in fact those are what make you happy, depending on what your definition of happy is, they're always available, and it isn't dependent on whether or not things are going bad, or if you've got, you just broke your leg or got diagnosed with some disease or something like that, because those relationships um, continue to go on. They can continue to flourish. They can continue to be even stronger than they were before. So if you define your happiness on something exterior to yourself, then I think I think that I've learned that over the years.
Good. So then, what advice would you give to someone who's searching for happiness? Because a lot of people are searching for happiness.
Probably get over themselves. I think that would be probably the first thing. I think that that if you can eliminate expectations that you have of other people, and view every individual as one of God's creatures and someone that was created in His image, and you can eliminate your expectations of what you think they ought to be like or what you think they ought to do for you. I think that contributes to your own happiness. Probably contributes to theirs as well.
Probably. Now, looking back in your life, what would be some of the times where you were the most happy? Life events or
Oh, I don't know. Right now
right now?
I'd be fine. I mean, I've got so many things to be thankful for. I mean, I've got a wonderful family, and I have opportunities to serve and have people who I love and who love me. There's very little that's lacking in my life, and that doesn't mean that I don't get frustrated, and every once in a while I want to be really selfish, that I don't want to paint a picture that I don't have ups and downs on the whole thing, but all in all, it's mostly good and happy. I just don't have any reason not to be incredibly grateful and happy. If I were unhappy, it would be that would be wrong.
Alrighty. Well, I think that pretty much sums it up. Thank you.